Tonight, federal agents say 2 men are now in custody after a suspected fentanyl distribution operation was uncovered in Forest Park. Investigators say the operation was run out of an Airbnb that a federal task force raided late last week. Agents showed reporters what they say is 21 kilos of fentanyl recovered from inside the rental home. They also displayed $380,000 in cash they say was seized, along with another $3,000 found on a man who tried to run. Officials say the arrests are part of a larger federal push to track down the sources behind the region's drug pipeline.
These drugs like fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, they poison our community, but they have second-order effects and spillover effects like addiction, like overdose, like violent crime in our community.
The suspects are Rico DeVille Bice and David Esteban Montillo Diaz. Both are expected to go before a federal grand jury for formal charges.
On August 26, I stood in a parking lot at about 4:30 in the morning, surrounded by many people here, as a takedown of a cartel organization was happening in Athens. I had several hundred law enforcement officers very early prepared to go out and execute search warrants in order to bring individuals to justice. These drugs that this organization was responsible for pushing, like cocaine and fentanyl, they were operating across boundaries just like I talked about, and ultimately 17 individuals were charged. 26 kilograms of cocaine were seized, fentanyl, 26 firearms, 12 assault rifles, and even a grenade launcher was seized in Georgia from this organization.
Show your face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now, without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I'm sure by now everyone has heard about Future's brother getting caught up for some major allegations concerning drugs, where he was arrested and let out on bond. Now, there's been many theories as to what's been going on with his brother FBG Casino and how everything transpired, or why he was even in the position to be caught up in such a big bust in the first place. And the paperwork have dropped, so we're going to get into the facts of the case as told to us by a criminal complaint. Now, before we get into the paperwork, let's get into what we already know based off the initial reports. Now, according to a criminal complaint filed in the Northern District of Georgia, it said that Rico D. Boose, aka Casino, was arrested after the Homeland Security Task Force raided a rental home in Forest Park. Agents from the FBI Atlanta, the DEA Atlanta, and the Clayton County Police Department executed a search warrant at the property on November 14, 2025 as part of a larger initiative called Operation Take Back America that targets fent trafficking and transnational criminal networks. Upon the raid, the search of the rental uncovered what federal officials described as a major fent stash. Investigators report seizing 21 kilograms of fent, a quantity the Justice Department says is enough to cause mass casualties if distributed on the streets. They also recovered an estimated $380,000 in suspected drug proceeds. About $300,000 was found in rubber banded stacks in the kitchen and bedroom, while another $80,000 was discovered inside a designer bag that investigators believe belonged to Boose, aka Casino. A Glock 19 pistol, money counter, a food sealer, and other packaging materials were also recovered, items that agents say are consistent with a wholesale narcotics operation. Now, as far as the suspects, prosecutors say that as agents approached the residence, Boose tried to bolt out of a side door, but was stopped and taken into custody outside the house. Court documents state that he had roughly $4,000 in cash on him at the time of his arrest. Inside the home, agents encountered his co-defendant, 23-year-old David Estevan Matilo Diaz of Coachella, California, who exited more calmly as the raid unfolded, which basically seemed like he knew what it was and there was no sense in running, especially if there's a raid going on. Now, if y'all know anything about raids, when them people coming to get you, they blanket the whole area before raiding because they know someone is going to try and escape or at least throw evidence from out the house. Now, Casino was arrested on November 14th and was charged with conspiracy to possess fent with intent to distribute, and he was initially supposed to be held without bail. However, by December 2nd, the decision was reversed and he was allowed a bond of $100,000 along with a special release that requires him to seek employment and wear GPS monitoring.
That occurred last Friday in Forest Park, Georgia, where FBI and DEA agents assigned to the HSTF arrested two men, Rico DeVille Bice, aka Casino, and David Estevan Montillo Diaz. Defendant Bice was caught fleeing from an Airbnb rental where agents were executing a federal search warrant. Bice was carrying a rubber-banded stack of cash, about approximately $4,000, but a lot more banded cash, approximately $380,000 worth, was found inside the home, along with approximately 21 kilograms of suspected fentanyl, a money counting machine, a vacuum sealer used to package bricks of illegal narcotics, and the Glock 19 semi-automatic pistol that's on the table. Because just 2 milligrams of fentanyl is a lethal amount, 21 kilograms is enough fentanyl to kill millions of people, and its street value is nearly $500,000.
Now, somehow, someway, the social media lawyer have been given the props for the release of Casino, and this is the same lawyer that was assigned Little Durk's Atlanta case, also the same lawyer that dated Atlanta rapper Trouble before his demise. According to a close associate, Nicole Mormon is responsible for getting Casino out of that jam, despite the rumors of him cooperating and facing life behind bars. The associate by the name of JB would take to his IG story to say, quote, "The reason Casino got a bond in his home is because of @King Cole, @Mormon Law, the best lawyer in the federal court system you can obtain. There's nothing fishy about why he's home. He got a lawyer who goes above and beyond for their client." Now let me tell y'all from personal experience, whenever someone says that something isn't fishy, it's almost definite that it's fishy. I'm gonna tell y'all now. However, new paperwork have came out in regards to the case, and it's looking like initially, Casino wasn't even the intended target during the raid, but he just may have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. That, or maybe it was a setup that he was unaware of, and I'll explain why I say that after we get into the paperwork. Now, the document that came out in regards to the arrest of FBG Casino would state, quote, "Before executing a search warrant, agents saw 2 vehicles parked in a driveway, one of which, a 2023 Rivian van, bearing Georgia license plate DDL 7572, was parked under the carport and is registered to Rico D. Boost at an address in Atlanta, Georgia. The second vehicle was a white 4-door sedan that was occupied by one male who was in possession of a firearm, but whose exact involvement is still being investigated. As agents begin executing the search warrant and were given verbal commands for the male to exit the white vehicle, Rico DeVille Boost, aka Casino, but referred to hereafter as Boost, and the female ran out of the residence through a side door. Agents apprehended Boost and the female at the rear of the residence. Boost was in possession of 2 cellular devices and a rubber-banded stack of U.S. currency, the exact amount to be determined. Agents gave verbal demands for others to exit the residence, and the male identified as David Estevan Matilo Diaz, the defendant referred to hereafter as Diaz, eventually came out. Diaz, who was a resident of Southern California, was the only other person inside the house. After all individuals on scene were detained and agents cleared the residence, they began their search. In plain view, throughout the kitchen area, on the stove, and in a black duffel bag, agents found an estimated total of 17 kilograms of suspected fent in the form of kilogram-sized bricks, as well as an estimated $300,000 in U.S. currency in a cardboard box. Boost and Diaz were arrested and booked into the Clayton County Jail on state drug trafficking charges. Based on the foregoing, my training and experience, and information obtained through the investigation to date, I respectfully submit there is probable cause to believe that on November 14, 2025, in the Northern District of Georgia, David Estevan Matillo Diaz knowingly and willfully combine, conspire, confederate, agree, and have a tacit understanding with others known and unknown to violate Title 21, United States Code Section 841, that is to knowingly and intentionally possess with intent to distribute a controlled substance, said conspiracy involving 400 grams or more of a mixture or substance. Now, one of the reasons why I say that Casino was caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time is because if you scroll up in the paperwork, it says United States versus David Estevan Matillo Diaz, which means that he was at the head of the investigation and Casino wasn't their target. He just got wrapped up in it. So it seems like he just so happened to be there when they decided to do the raid and got caught up. However, although it can't be proven, allegedly, it seems as if it was a drug deal in the process and they just so happened to make a bust at the right time everything was going down. Now, although he may not have been the focal point of this investigation, the phones that were found on his persons may reveal a lot. They say he had 2 phones. Let's just say we hope that one of them or both of them wasn't his trap phones, because we know that they can go back years and years on them phones, no matter whether you delete information or not. That's the problem with these smartphones. They're a little too smart. But not only that, I stated earlier that this could have been a situation where it could have been a setup, because we now know that sometimes when you're dealing with drugs on a higher level, the cartels and heavy dealers have no problems giving up small fries to allow bigger things to transpire. So it's like they give a little to gain a lot. Not to mention, it has been proven in the past that some of these drug organizations are very much interactive with law enforcement, and who knows, there's a lot of possibilities here. But as of right now, it'll be a case that Casino is fighting. I'm sure whether he was a target or not, being that they caught him there, that may open another can of worms and have them want to investigate him now based off what they seized. This is why they always say, watch your surroundings. You never know who you're around, you never know what they're involved in, and something as small as a picture or a text message can get you caught up in somebody else's indictment. So you gotta be careful out there, y'all, especially if you out here doing criminal activity. But other than that, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all think it's a bad look for Casino and he may not beat the charges, or do y'all think he's good? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.